All right, Shalom. Call Haloyim Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Rachak Wadash. Shan Yakubad Kadwala Requabs Aquanim Nawa Ba'ashalayakim Nawa. That's the belongers to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Shalom Wabarakim Labakoyim Shalayasharala. That's peace and blessings to the elect of Israel, and as always, may a double portion of the Holy Spirit be put upon all the brothers that are still offering your bodies as a living sacrifice, pushing out this word in truth and in sincerity. So the point in this video that I want to make is going to be in 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 3, but I'm going to start reading at verse 1. And it says, I charge thee, therefore, before the Most High, and the Lord Yahweh Shai, who shall judge the quick and the dead at his appearing and his kingdom. Preach the word, be instant or ready, in season, out of season, meaning at all times basically. Reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. And with this doctrine, we do reprove and rebuke and exhort. We use this word to do so. Now verse 3, for the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lusts shall they heap to themselves teachers having itching ears. And when you have an itching ear, of course, it's something that's bothering you and you just have to scratch it, right? So basically, what does this metaphorically represent? It represents a time that we're coming into where people are going to say, dang, I just have to know what's going on. It's that itch that they have, and they just have to find out what's going on. They just have to scratch it, right? But that's going to be because of there's going to be so many, so much destruction, I'll just say, plagues, pestilences. It's just going to be a dark time overall. And there's going to be a lot of people that are going to want to find out what's going on. But they're going to heap to themselves teachers having itching ears. And I'll just read verse 4. And they shall turn away their ears from the truth and shall be turned unto fables. Why? Because they didn't take the proper time. They didn't take the opportunity when there was time to seek the truth. So when it was too late, then they sought out these teachers, having these itching ears, just going after anything that sounds good to them, right? That's why you shouldn't make decisions. There's a saying in the world, you don't make a decision out of fear, or you don't make a decision basically out of impulse, because it's not a sound decision. Now we're going to jump back up to verse 3, because the reason why I want to make this video is I was just listening this morning to the elder apostle Rumlab, and he made a response video to basically these dudes, long story short, how all of a sudden there's these new people, whoever they were, and they've come up with some kind of new breakdown for the mark of the beast. When you read about it in the book of Revelation, the 13th chapter, and they are breaking down the word charagma and 666 and adding in all these new words and just trying to be deeper than deep. But this is exactly what's going on right now. You have people that do not belong. I'm just going to say you have basically people that are teaching this word that should not be teachers. And in these end times, you're going to have people that are heaping and listening to these kind of men that are not going to endure sound doctrine. And it's very important that in this time, we endure sound doctrine. So what does that mean? When you look up the word sound in the Greek right here, it's just hygiano. Kind of sounds like hygiene. Let me click it. Let me see what it says.
Strong's G 5198 hugiaino.
Hugiaino. All right, it says hugiaino, which looks like hygiene. Funny. And when you read it, it just says to be sound, basically. To be sound, well, or to be in good health. So what I did was I jumped over here to the online etymology dictionary. And you click the first one, and it says sound. And of course, it's a noun, so it's going to tell you a noise or what is heard. But the sentence was sound doctrine. So now you have to ask, what type of doctrine? Sound doctrine. So sound is an adjective. So we jump down to, of course, the adjective, and it says free from special defect or injury. And that's good. Sound, safe. And as we keep reading down, you come here. And it says meaning right, correct, or free from error. And that's what it's all about. And this is exactly why we say, sometimes in the beginning, brothers will say, peace and blessings. And of course, to those that are teaching this word and listening in truth and in sincerity. Because if you're teaching and then listening for truth and in sincerity, then that means that you're hearkening for sound doctrine, or doctrine that's right, or that's correct, or that's free from error. And that's what it's all about. Having a doctrine so that your mind can be, and your spirit can be found blameless or without spot. So I'm going to read this once more and grab a few more precepts. This is very, very important because we're quickly approaching Jacob's trouble, and we're quickly approaching the time in which there's going to be a famine of the word. So we have to endure sound doctrine right now so that we can make sure that in these days to come, we don't have those itching ears, right? We don't have those itching ears because there's going to be a whole heck of a lot of other people out here talking claiming that they think they know what's going on. This is 2 Timothy 4:3 once more. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, or right, or correct, or a doctrine that's free from error, but after their own lusts shall they heap to themselves teachers having itching ears. I'm going to jump over now. This is Titus 2 verse 1. It says, but speak thou the things which become sound doctrine. Sound doctrine. Now, as you keep reading, it basically gives you a description of how men and women should be conducting themselves, or ourselves. When you jump down to verse 6, check this out. I thought this was pretty interesting. It says, the young men likewise exhort to be sober-minded, in all things showing thyself a pattern of good works, in doctrine showing uncorruptness, gravity, sincerity, sound speech that cannot be condemned. And basically something that's uncorrupt is basically sound because it's whole, it's free from error. But in verse 6, it says, young men likewise exhort to be sober-minded. When you look up the word sober, in the Greek right here, you have the Greek word sophroneo, or sophroneo, and the outline of biblical usage says to be of sound mind. So when you're sober-minded, that basically means you literally are in your right mind, just like it says right here. You're in your right mind. You have a correct mindset. Basically, we're looking for our minds and our spirits to be free from error. That's what it's all about. We're in the business of the saving of souls. And the only souls that are going to be saved are those that are basically found blameless without spot. Sober, sound, a sound spirit is what we're looking for, because this flesh is corrupt. And that's what the Holy Spirit did. The Holy Spirit entered into us, and it's cleansing us. It's cleansing our spirit, and it's making us sound, basically. And that's why, of course, only our spirits are going to be saved and are going to enter in those chariots. Because remember, this corruptible flesh cannot inherit incorruption. So what's going to be saved? It's going to be our spirits. And then we're going to have a new body in those chariots. But it starts with our spirit being sound, and our spirit and our minds, if you will, are going to be sound because we endure sound doctrine. All right, a doctrine without spot. Now that point was made, I want to jump over to the book of Amos. the 8th chapter. I believe it's 8. Yep. And as I briefly mentioned in the beginning, I just want to bring this all back home and bring it relevant to the times that we're in right now and quickly approaching. Amos 8 and 11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. And right now, I mean, it hasn't been a famine. It's not a famine of the word. You can still easily jump on YouTube. You can still easily come to the street corners every single Saturday, Friday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, whatever day that camps and brothers hit the streets that's in your nearest city. And you can hear this word for free. It's readily and easily accessible. But the day is going to come. This is an end time prophecy right here. That the Lord is going to basically make hearing this word, hearing the true sound doctrine, scarcity. That's what it means for it to be a famine of anything. That means it's scarce. There's a lack, and there's going to be a lack of sound doctrine coming very, very soon. So you have to get it right now while it's readily and easily accessible. Because very, very soon, you don't want to be, I'm telling you, in the predicament where you've heard the word kinda, but then you put off hearing it from day to day, as it states in the book of Sirach, the 5th chapter, verse 7. You put off from day to day, and then all of a sudden, you find yourself in the predicament where you have those itching ears, and you're just going after your own heart's lust. Anybody that you see teaching the Bible, you're just gravitating towards them. That's not how you want to be. Verse 12 says, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it. Why won't they find the word of the Lord? Because it's going to be a famine, and they're going to be running to and fro to anybody that they find teaching the Bible. Oh, that person has a beard. They look kind of familiar. I think I've seen them before. Let me just hearken to them because that's all I find right now. You don't want to be in that predicament. It's about having sound doctrine. So it's about praying to the Lord that he opens up your mind to truth and in sincerity so that you can receive these words that are going to be able to save your soul. And now I want to get this as well. Probably just end off with this. And I've been here a lot, actually, but, just this is what we're hoping for. So Revelation 14, verse 3. And they sung as it were a new song, before the throne and before the 4 beasts and the elders. And no man could learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever they goeth. And they're virgins and not defiled with other women, basically meaning other doctrines or philosophies. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto the Most High and to the Lamb. And in their mouth was found no guile, for they are without fault before the throne of the Most High. Let's look up that word guile. Boom. The word guile is just dolos, and it says craft, deceit, guile. You jump down here, trick, wiles, craft, deceit, guile. And I think there's one more word that I wanted to look up as well. Let me see. Oh, verse 4. These are they which were not defiled. Because when something is defiled, basically, it's not whole, it's not sound. The word defiled, let's see what this says in the Greek.
Strong's G 3435, maluno. Maluno.
Maluno. In the outline of biblical usage says to pollute, stain, contaminate, or defile. Pollute, stain, or contaminate. So these were they which were not defiled with women. They were not polluted or stained. Why? Because their doctrine was whole. Their doctrine was sound. It was right, it was correct, and it was free from error. And this is what we're hoping for. It all starts with the doctrine. So very, very important that we teach the 100% truth. So that's it, and I pray that the elect were edified. Call Allah Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Chakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom.